spelling friends. This is the set of homework notes for list M4. On the first day it says time all 70 phonograms. Don't say the rules. So if you come and you're saying ow, o, oo, d, ol, just saying as quickly as they can do it. And if you come to one that has some verbiage with it, like this one here, ooh, usually we would say ooh, the surprise phonogram, but for the timer's sake, we're only going to say ooh. If they get a time and they're a little bit discouraged with it, let them try it again and see if they can do it faster a second time. For chart additions, it's thunder and mountains. On the page, you're going to say to them, which do we use in thunder? They'd say of her. Then you write it. They write it in their syllables and they mark it appropriately. For mountains, on our abbreviations page, we actually don't need to do any syllable breaks, which is a nice break for us, and we don't need to do any markings. For the review activities for day one, have them read their logbook first before they do the worksheet. So they would read in their think to spell, then think to say manner. So they would say army, both, breakfast, breakfast. Or you could have them read from, like we're reading a book, either from top to bottom or left to right. So they could read army, brought, whichever you prefer. Then their analogies worksheet, it says page 155, so that's a copy that I've already made for you that you have in your binders. And if you want to have them do dry erase, then just drop it in a sleeve. Otherwise, they can write in pencil. When it says remainder to the bottom of the page, what that means is there are some words that are not used in that page that are M4 spelling words. And so in order to be able to make sure that they have practice writing each word that day, you can mark off the words that they've written. So the words army, climb, happen, broad, and others are included in the worksheet. The ones that aren't included in the worksheet for that day are both, happen, while, beside, picture, ready, brought, monkey, and eagle. So I just had Ollie flip his worksheet over to the back and write those one time, just making sure he had practice to write it. Make sure that they're writing their sentences for that day. And the review word section, if you've not been through SWR before, then these would not be considered review words for you, so you would skip over those. Day 2 phonogram review, you're just going to flip through the cards. You have your phonogram quiz. For your chart additions on B26, that's our FLS page, and you do have to do the markings on there, but you don't mark in red. And then just make sure that you're practicing that rule. When it says review this list's rule cards, that you're just saying we often double FLS after single vowel at the end of a base word. As I was looking at the review worksheet for day 2, if you do have SWR experience, you'll be able to complete that page because you'll already understand the Y's exchange, the E's dropping, and the plurals. If you have not done SWR before, and this is your first year, we're going to do a replacement activity because there are some rule pages that we have not built yet that you would need to know how to use to be successful on that page. So if this is your first round through SWR, you're going to do an activity called Rule Sort. All the rules are listed for you that accompany this week's words on the top of the lesson plan where it says class day. It says words and rules in a little chart on the left-hand side. So go ahead and pull all those out. And what you're going to do is arrange them on a dry erase board or on the floor with index cards next to them. And as you call out the words, the kiddos are going to write the word with a rule that corresponds to it. So if we do the word army, we know that it ends in y, and we know that I and y usually say I at the end of a syllable, but may say I. So we're going to take the word and write I. Okay? Or if you have the other one out there, the English words do not end in IU, V, or J, they could choose to put the word army in the slot where English words do not end in IU, V, or J. If you come to the word, let's see, what's another one? Beside, for example. We know that the I says I because of the E. So we could write it here. B-E-I-D, silent final E. I said I because of the E, so it's a type 1 silent final E. But we also know that E said E at the end of a syllable, so we could choose to put it with this rule card if we wanted to. But each word just needs to be written one time, and then there's always going to be what I call the question mark or the extra section. There are words that don't have any sort of rule associated with them, like breakfast doesn't have a rule associated with it, so it would go in our question mark. So again, that's the replacement activity for day 2 if this is your first year doing SWR. Again, if it's your first year doing SWR, then the review words are not going to be review words for you, so you're going to skip those. Phonogram war on day 3, that's what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that if you have the 2 sets of phonogram cards where it only has the phonogram on front, that you and your student or your student and your other student can play war. They flip it upside down and see, just a second, sweetie, hold on, no, right now, that they can see who can say it first, and then they get to keep those cards. So you would have your test on day 3 include 10 review words, so that's either from M1 through M3 or words that you've encountered in writing your sentences that you have had to review how you spell them. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.